Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report. And if you were joining me last night with the Strat Attack, one of the things we were talking about was that this attempt to rally back this week, yesterday's 2-2 reversal here, you can see upper left here, wasn't very robust. It wasn't, the breadth wasn't very good. It was a lot of big cap NASDAQ and all that kind of stuff. And so today when we came in, we wanted to see if some of these other industrials and stuff could do a little bit more heavy lifting, and they aren't. So once again, if you go to the upper middle, this is really what you want to be getting back into. This big outside weaker here, or back into here, right? And that low here is 327.97. So you're almost there, but jumped up here and then backs off, and you can see this here, slight higher high in the upper left, right? So it's closer to being an outside day to the downside, right? And so if you go to the here, remember we already had the outside month. And so if you go to here on the 60 minute, you'll notice this. The opening was an outside 60 to the downside, right? And so far, it's been continuing lower. So we haven't had a reversal back up, right? When we do, we might see some more strength. But right now, we are not seeing that. If you go to QQQ, here, you're going to see this. We open the day here on the 60, 2-2 reversal, up, takes out one side, takes out the other, boom. Then an inside bar for the continuation, down, still going. You'll also notice QQQ is still an inside day. So if you're looking at some of these things, it looks like a real disaster. So far, it's not a total disaster, but it is inside day and still trading towards the lows. Still green on the week as right now. So we want to see when we finally get some sort of reversals on these 60s, what that shapes up to be. And when you look at the QQQ, and you see this inside 60 to the downside, there's certain things that we look for, right? And if you want for execution, right? And so here is what you look for. You see how it pokes up here? There's a 2 to the upside, and then here. There's your reversal, and your target is to at least take this out. And you had that inside 60 down to give you a nice little move down into here. Right now, it's trying to consolidate a little bit. So far, in the strength was back some of the usual suspects, ZM here and ZM just blasting into the highs, and so that's exhaustion risk. And what that means is that we don't have any pivots to take out, and so that you run into a problem because you need those buyers to keep stepping up because you have nobody to stop out really. And so here, now you can see it reversing back down right here. So when you make your money on the long side and you go into exhaustion risk and you get a reversal, you flip back and get short right here, and that was below 519.59 because you're back into an old outside bar, which is a broadening formation. And if that kicks in, you got a big move to the downside, but we'll see. If you go to Peloton, Peloton also reverses off, going to where we thought it would get, we knew it would go, I should say, here on the weekly in the upper middle. Takes out the previous high, slightly takes out the previous low, and then these are going to become an outside bar of that. Right? Talked about that more than a few times. 98.61. And once it took that out, then we don't know. Now we got exhaustion risk, and then you have a reversal on the 60 back down, you see? So not totally falling apart, but you can see that's something you can do. Watching these futures start to consolidate just a little bit going sideways. Gap list, we had SPI. And SPI came flying out the gate, and then you can look at this 30-minute. Here, the inside 30. Boom! Now you got inside 30, which gives you your inside 60. And we'll see if anything can come out, any more shenanigans out of something like that. LRCX. Now, with a lot of its tech selling off, it's like you always want to look at one of these things, not like the other, who can stay strong, who's going to come in. LRCX, once again, inside weak to the upside here in the upper middle, still working. Then still green on the day, and so watching this inside 60 here to see if it exhausts or if we can get anything out of it. Like I said, a lot of these future things are going to depend on the next futures move. If we go to Coop, I'll degonalize, Coop. And so Coop, once again, inside on the 60, so that's going to tell a few tales. And still going, still 2 to the upside on the daily, taking out yesterday's highs, and still 2-2 reversal on the weekly. That's still good. So we'll see what comes of that. Watching these futures still sideways right now. If we go to Twitter, and Twitter, nice blast off here. And so now you see when it comes out and takes this stuff out, and here, right? This is what we're looking to do. Here's your bigger monthly broadening formation. Now the question is going to be strong enough to take that out. Right now you're going straight into the highs. We'd like to see some more corrective activity before getting into that. If you go to JK Solar, and JK Solar had a nice run here too, and you can see this broadening formation. You see this here? There it is. All right, so another more run sheep run coming up into exhaustion risk. So we'll see if that sets up again. And here you'll notice this was inside day to the upside, the 212 measured move. All right, so we'll see if that sets up as well. If we go to DIOD, and DIOD just went inside and up on the 60 right here. All right, and so this, when it starts racing back through here, you can look. Here you can see this inside day. All right, after taking some lows out, and then boom, back to the previous range and take all these guys out in one shot, which gives you the outside week in the upper middle. Coming to try and go outside month or down in the middle. We'll see if she's got more steam in the tank. Diodes. If you go to Domino's Pizza, talked about this last night. Domino's Pizza doing this. Inside week to the upside, right? And coming back through the previous range. Is that what we look for? We definitely do. And there it is. And we'll see if we can cook in the inside 60 here early. And maybe an inside 30, we'll see. If we go to Deckers. Okay, Deckers does its job. And you can see this here on the daily. You see this? Takes out the low, 2-2 reversal. Now come take out this, 222.82. You'll notice it traded 223.24 and then backed off, right? And so here you can see it was inside, got the job done, and now exhaustion risk. We'll see if that can set up again. In the middle, you can see potential outside month to the upside, with most things going outside month to the downside. Just saw GILD go to the highs. We'll see what's going on in here. Still an inside day. Okay. Broader average is still starting to firm up here. And crude oil, it is a Wednesday. Crude. There you go. So if you look at here on the 30, you're going to see this. The 2-2 reversal 30. This got the lows, then up. Then the inside 30. And back down reversal. Then slight lower low. Boom! Right here. Now these become an outside bar of all that. Lots of good trades in there if you just know what to look for. Also trying to go inside day and up on that number. If we go to some of the downside, Tesla. And Tesla now inside 30, so we'll see how that goes. But one of the things we were looking for, albeit still an inside week because of a big range here in the upper middle, is that we had the outside inside day for battery day, right? Which means when we take out either side of this, we're looking to take out either side of this, right? They were willing to pay up and sell down, then they met in the middle, and when they come back, the real guns come out. And so Tesla here on the 15, here's what we look for. Right, first of all, when it's red on all time frames, you have full time frame continuity to the downside. You see that? And so if you go to the 15, you wait for them to pop up. Here's that outside bar. Then this takes these guys out. Boom. Right here, below 399.51. Right? And then you can take that continuation inside bar here because you're already at a profit and hit them again. Now you got an inside 30, and if you go to the 30 minute, you'll see this. There's another entry for you. Taking out the one side low, one side high, boom, right here. 395.75, boom, and you're in. And still good. Right now, inside on the 30. We'll see if that firms up or stays down. If we got NKLA. Nikola. Ow. All right, we already know it's an outside month to the downside so far. And just trying to take the weekly opening. But here, inside day. Here was your continuation, your 2, your inside, and boom, right here. Didn't gap either. Plenty of time to get in on this one below 26.67, waiting 24.80. Just get some weakness in the chickens. Tyson have some issues. And once again, you can see taking out last month's lows, coming back through, taking out here, the 2 up, the 2 down on the week, and going there. And the good thing about this is also a subgroup, so you can watch PPC, right? And SAFM, chickens together. So also having problems here. Let's see if the OIH is trying to recover. Not so much, a little bit here, but OIH, and that's what we're kind of watching that crude number, but crude going to the highs right now. And so here's the inside day to the downside in OIH. You can see that, and that gives you all your usual suspects. Not too fun, but you got Slob and Halliburton and stuff like that. If we go to gold, and gold does this. Inside day to the downside. Unfortunately, it gapped, and so we don't like that. But what it does do here, when you have full time frame continuity to the downside, when the 60 is red, here, which means when it popped up here on the 60, as soon as it hit that, you could hit it right there, right? Because you got 2-2 reversal month, right? You are 2-2 reversal week. You're red on the day and inside day and down. All time frames, yep, every reason to believe that's going to work right out the chute, and that's going to give you stuff like JNUG. Here, JNUG just has some nice action to it. It stalls out a little bit here, but anything that can move, $10 in a day is something that we want to pay attention to. We also had a W, and W was inside week and up, now coming back in. So I want to see if this changes. There's your 2-2 reversal day here below this. That's 291, so there's $3 there for the let's go the other way. NKLA going to the lows as I speak, and what I said was, we talked about last night that some other things do some heavy lifting, some other sectors get going beside big cap tech and all that kind of stuff. And so we're looking at a lot of Dow stocks, and so here you can see the inside day pops up in Cat Tractor, can't get out of that. You got Mini Mines, tries to poke against that. Boeing tries to get out of here and comes right back into the range, right? And so these things still having all sorts of trouble as of right now, because we had inside days also in the transports, like so. And transports spiked up in the morning, and then you can see this started to give it up. FedEx, here we go. Then you get your inside 60 coming back in. You had like Union Pack. Union Pack going up and then coming back in. However, right now you got the S&P firming up just a tad here, and let me see what we got going to the highs. I'm always watching my scans here to see what we got. You got RUN going to the highs, RUN, and you can see what a nice run this has had. We had Western Digi before. I'm going to go on my list here real quick. Western Digi craps out a little bit, so we'll see. DY is a good example of one of the things we look for too. It came up a little short, but we can keep an eye on this because you can look at this here. The broadening formation, right? What you want to do is have a range, break it, and then get back into it. Right here was your 2-2 reversal. So even if it stalls on the 60 up into here, if you got it from back into here, you're doing just fine. We also saw some of these guys start to give it up. Okta. This thing is still good right here. You can see it's green on the day. So we want to see if this thing sets up again with another 60, if these things start to firm up. Once again, the inside bar, the poke down, the hammer counter shooter rev strat, boom, right back up. So let's see. I'm gonna see how the team's doing. And the team still good on here, but on the daily backing off, we'll see if we get another 60 right here because of this weekly right and so. So once again, let's get back to the SPY and the Qs. I'm gonna see if they can get these things going. See, we hadn't had any reversals, right? And now you do. So you're going to see a little bit of a tone change. You're going to see them firm up a bit right here because you got your 2230 on your S&P Spider. And QQQ, there's your 2230 to see them firm up. So when you just follow along just really basic simples that I'm showing you, then you'll know, should I be long or should I be short? You go to Big C and get Big C getting going for you here on the tone change. The inside 60 back to the upside, right? And one of the things we look for, upper middle, the potential outside weak to come up and take these guys out unless we get a reversal against us, and that would be 88.41. So there's still some nice meat on them bones. All right, well, we're going to keep an eye on these internals, and that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith & Black channel here, Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report.